Good evening. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. Tonight, three sisters still grieving the death of their mother 2 decades later.
They were just little girls when they saw their mother being killed by 17-year-old Wallace Allen.
He was sentenced to life with no parole. Fast forward 21 years later, circumstances change, and now the daughters forced to do something they never thought they would have to do.
Okay. Name 3 salad dressings.
Okay. A game of 5-second rule equals quality time for these 3 sisters, Shara, Marcia, and Brandy. But when they were 11, 9, and 6, an unthinkable act.
The car was facing this way.
Their mother, Carol Roundtree, shot in the head as she was attempting to get in her car. The 3 daughters in the car that night witnessed a scene that remains vivid more than 2 decades later.
Out of nowhere, I blinked, and it's a person standing here with a gun pointed to my mother.
She was like, baby, all I have is $5. This is it. She's fumbling. The contents of her purse is coming out. She's begging. He takes the gun and points at me. She's begging for my life. I'm begging for her life. And then all of a sudden, he pulls the gun back on her, and he shoots her. It just like that. She's gone. Her head is now in my lap.
The gunman, Wallace Allen, only 17 when he was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. His sentence reduced to 40 years after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling deemed it unconstitutional to sentence minors without a chance of ever being released. After serving 21 years, Allen now up for parole.
July 11, 1997 has left a permanent mark in my life.
The daughters, with relatives and friends, devastated.
Wallace Allen should be denied. I have witnessed what he is capable of.
One by one, taking their fears of his release to the parole board.
This is the night that will forever be with us, no matter what we do, no matter what we accomplish, no matter where we go.
We reached out to Allen, hoping for an interview and coverage of his parole hearing. Instead, we got a letter from a cellmate. It reads, Mr. Allen has decided to decline your request due to the perceived negative effect it would have on the victim's family, his immediate family, and his own personal life.
After that night, we never came back here again.
This, the first time the sisters have been back to the home, the parking lot, where their lives changed dramatically.
I remember the ambulance and having to sit in the police car.
Emotions reveal little sympathy for Allen.
At the end of the day, you had a choice in it all. When you could have said no, you said yes. When you could have not pulled the trigger, you did.
Sharper,
For now, it's about coming to terms with the inevitable.
I didn't want to relive this again, so I was like, either way go, I have to accept him being parole denied, but he'll be out.
Out of prison, now or later, but this family hoping long enough to give them one more chance at healing. Wallace Allen did not get a recommendation for parole this time around, but he will probably continue to come up for parole before he has served 40 years. As for now, the 3 sisters plan to keep doing what they're doing. To see my full interviews with Shara, Marcia, and Brandy, I put it as a web extra on fox16.com.